Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Deckin Around Kickstarter Edition. Today, we're going to be taking a look at any decks that have funded in the past 7 days, any new decks to Kickstarter in the past week, and any decks that will end their round of funding in the upcoming 7 days. But before we jump into it, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel.
And please give that bell a ring.
So, let's take a quick word from our sponsor here.
Hummingbird Feathers mimics the shimmer of a hummingbird in motion. Meticulously created with a specialized printing process using multiple holographic foils. Stunning tuck design and sculpted embossing with master letterpress creation. Featuring limited, standard, and gilded 3-deck sets. Pre-order yours today at marvelousdecks.com.
Alright, Steve, you ready to check out what's new to Kickstarter this week?
Yes.
I'm really excited because I think, traditionally December is a pretty mellow month. So who knows? We could have a ton of people trying to rush before the holidays here, or we could only have a handful of decks. I'm excited.
Yeah, I guess let's jump in and see.
All right. Well, first off, congratulations to the Mysteries and Secrets marked playing cards. Congratulations to La Bellissime. Congratulations to Cocktail Cards 52 Classic Cocktail Recipe Deck. Congratulations to Deck's Yellow Playing Cards. Congratulations to Queen Bee Luxury Playing Cards. Congratulations to Stringer Arts Limited Edition Playing Card Deck. Congratulations to Atlantis Playing Cards.
Riffle Shuffle.
Yeah. And ending in the next 28 hours, we have the Fractal Cards. And ending in the next week, we have Blue Jay playing cards, the Cordaro playing cards, red and black editions, the Enchanting playing cards, Wall Calendar 2021, which is ending in 64 hours, and we haven't taken a look at it yet, and the Broken Crown playing cards, which ends in 3 days.
Love that deck.
Yeah, me too. It's such a great looking deck, and I'm so glad to see that Mark and Jenny crushed it the way they did.
Yep.
And then we have the Music Cloth Gold playing cards weaved out of cassette tapes. The Neo Tokyo playing cards, Cyberpunk and Japan in one deck, which card deck is crushing on this one.
We totally crushed it.
I love that vibrant, hot pink as well.
Yeah, it's pretty.
And the Cuisine cards. I still dig this deck. I just wish I understood, the suits and everything on it.
Yeah, it's close to funding, so, good luck.
Yeah, if they don't, I really do hope that Lori Goodhart takes a look at it and we can get a translation of what the cards mean, because I love the artwork on this.
Yeah, it's definitely cool.
And we have the Election 2020 playing cards. And the King of Poker custom-designed poker playing cards, which done really well there. Doubled their goal almost. Or more so. Nice. And the Lucky 13 playing cards. And the Mystery Dream Bicycle playing cards. And the number 7 Limited from Montenzi Design. And the Resurrected V2 by Abraxas playing cards. Alright, so let's see what's new this week, Steve. You ready?
I'm ready, man. Let's do it.
Alright, so first up, we have these Stairways playing cards, Cotton Candy Blast. So this is actually a relaunch. Let's see what we got here. Cotton Candy Blast. Interesting use of the Gambler's logo in the image. You know from the jump where it's coming from.
Yeah.
High quality playing cards with a lovely cotton candy color scheme and unique lines from that of MC Escher, Lionel, and Roger Penrose. So it talks about the inspiration right there. I definitely get that Escher vibe in the stairs on the on the way the stairs look to it. Cotton Candy Pink and Cotton Candy Blue, fulfilled through Gamblers, printed on USPCC. Premium B card stock, limited run of 1,000 decks. Very cool. Yeah, no, it looks good. Got their stretch goals right there. Custom brick and half brick boxes, custom number seal, upgraded to premium B, stock 2,500. So the one thing I'm curious about there, it says they're printed on premium B stock from the jump. I'm wondering if they're upgraded to premium B stock was intended to be an upgraded to crush stock. Yeah, because that would make sense in line with the 2,500 deck number there. So that is one thing, Jesse, that I would say take a look at. Never-ending stairs. I dig that. I like the fact that they went with the large central aces on it.
Yeah, I like that 3D design look too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely well done. Um, and I dig the colors. You know, that blue is actually a really nice blue. What I would love to see, and this isn't, this being more of a cardistry deck, it wouldn't fit the style, but that blue, just like, I would love to see that kind of blue in like a foil.
Oh, yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, really
I
vibrant.
um I really dig the layout of how they put the four images. I mean, the four cards across
Yeah.
rather than having huge images. They did a really good job, laying it out.
Yeah, and they look like true to size to some extent, which I think is also helpful as well there.
Right.
The one thing I would say too, what happens next, my name is Jesse Newsom. I'd say you could probably move a little bit of the story up higher just to get people invested from the jump.
Yeah.
And kind of tease it out throughout the campaign. Get people to continue to have to scroll through to find out more about who you are in the deck. But bringing some of that first section of "Hi, my name is Jesse Newsom. I'm a graphic designer and sketch artist" up to the top, even if it's the first 2 or 3 sentences, would be a really good like start to, and do like that paragraph, and then right into the bullet points explaining all of the print run and everything.
Yeah. I love that sketch. It's
Yeah,
kind of cool. Yeah.
it's really cool. The other thing I would say too, and we've had actually a request recently to talk about the risks and challenges section of the campaign. While I think it's very good that your risks and challenges section here is very candid, you're at the mercy of USPCC and the quality at which they print, and obviously there's been a lot of issues with registration and the cutting process with USPCC in the past. I still
Right.
think that building out a comprehensive risks and challenges section is important. And one of the things to talk about there too is this is actually an opportunity in challenges to be a little retrospective and sell the deck even more by talking about challenges that you've faced and already overcome to even get to this point. I
Yeah.
think that's a good way that you can show how much effort has gone into the deck. For the risks part of it, I think there's one way to also look at that is it's not just the risks for the creator should they get funded, but the risks for the campaign backers should things go horribly off the rails.
Right.
Delays in shipping are a great thing to touch on, especially with the global pandemic going on. Any sort of potential delays in printing due to said pandemic as well. And even with the fact that USPCC, while they're being impacted still by the pandemic, is still printing at full capacity, but they're running behind significantly. So getting in with the print time with them could be longer than usual. Those are areas where I would use the risks and challenges section to touch on some of the points where you may not easily convey that otherwise throughout the campaign.
Yeah. I mean, I think moving forward, seeing in these campaigns a pushed back date would be better than putting a date on there that is in hopes of like we're seeing March here of 2021, and 3 months away, so to speak, is it's pretty quick on behalf of USPCC right now.
Yeah, especially with everything going on, and especially with Gamblers fulfilling as well. We know Gamblers is also dealing with a little bit of a backlog right now as well, so there could be delays there. And it may be something where you want to kind of touch on the idea, and we've seen this in past campaigns where they talk about the ideal delivery date and then the should delays happen. So you have kind of a best case, and I don't want to say worst case because you don't want to box yourself into too hard dates, but a best case and a if some things go wrong kind of date,
Yeah.
And the other thing I think to tie in with that as well is with the risks and challenges section, the biggest part to make sure that should a risk or challenge arise after funding is communication. Campaign runners need to make sure that they understand that communication doesn't end when the campaign funds. People are going to want consistent updates. There are some great creators out there who do a phenomenal job keeping people almost too up to date, but better to be too up to date than not up to date enough. And there's a really big area around those risks and challenges where if you're stating risks and challenges, even if there's something as simple as like there could be shipping delays due to a pandemic, it leaves people an opportunity to be concerned. And if you're not putting those concerns at ease by keeping them up to date post campaign, that can lead to other issues. So that's where I think this risks and challenges section really creates a great opportunity for a creator to be transparent about any potential challenges and risks they see, and then following through to make sure that backers know that those risks and challenges are being addressed continuously.
Yeah, I mean, nobody's gonna, fret upon someone giving too much information. Being really transparent and
Yeah, absolutely. So let's take a look at the price point on this too. $16 shipped. If this is
awesome.
as a cardistry deck, if this is your style, $16 shipped is a phenomenal deal. I think you really can't go wrong. There's still some of the 2-deck early bird specials as well. If you want to pick up 2 decks for 21, that's a steal.
Yep.
2, 4, 6 brick box, 2 bricks. Also with the potential of custom brick boxes and half brick boxes at one of the stretch goals. Dude, that's a steal.
Yeah.
I mean, that really is a great deal there.
Yeah, that's your thing, definitely.
Yeah, and I dig the colors. So, good luck, Jesse. Looking forward to seeing how the campaign goes. Next up, we have the Admira Royal Playing Cards Royal Silver Seal Limited Edition. That is a name, man.
That's a mouthful.
Yeah. I see, and this is one of those areas where I would have almost said the Admira Royal Playing Cards and then used the subtitle as the Royal Silver Seal Limited Edition and done something where instead of repeating the name in the subtitle, you say top line Admira Royal Playing Cards, second line Royal Silver Seal Limited Edition, period, an elegant deck of playing cards where the court is made up of women only, or whatever fits in that area. But yeah, I think the repetition of the name and then the inclusion of the subtitle in the main title made it a long read there.
Yeah.
64 playing cards, 7 created, which I know they've created a handful.
They did a Stanbur. Did they do the?
They've done the composers decks. That's where we've seen them from the past, and they've done Stanbur as well.
Stanbur, yeah.
So Stanbur fits the style of this Admira one, and then we've seen them throughout the composers. So this is a well-known, creative company, we'll say.
Is that the recent composer deck fulfilled already?
I don't believe so. I think it just funded
not too long. Right?
Yeah, not too long ago. So that may still be up for fulfillment.
Right.
So we got here. Which I know people enjoyed the Stanbur, and I know it came with like a limited edition that had like a wax seal on it or something like that.
Yeah.
So printed and fulfilled by NPCC Noir Arts. Great, right out the jump, telling you who's printing and fulfilling. Goes into some of the specs of the deck, which I think is phenomenal. Here you go, packaged with silver sealing wax. The wax seal is genuine wax seal, hand pressed and unique each time. Silver seal version. So yeah, similar to the Stanbur where they did the red seal version.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, it's an interesting look to see the tuck because I'm curious. With this render, I can't get a good feel whether this is all flat or this is embossed. But
it says up top. Go up.
Let's see.
It says right there.
Silver foiling and embossing. Perfect.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that anything raised here is going to be embossed in silver foil, which it's going to look super eye-catching. I like that stark contrast of black and silver decks.
Yeah. Definitely gives me that vibe, like the kind of Dracula vibe.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so that's similar to what they did with the Stanbur deck. I like that kind of personalized touch, the fact that it does make each deck unique. It's definitely interesting. Like it.
Yeah.
Double deck box luxury limited edition. Nice.
Yeah. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's not bad looking. That silver foil on that really does look spectacular. And then they sealed the limited edition as well. So this is definitely a collector's oriented deck, which I think, nothing wrong with that. It's got a great art vibe to it. If you're into it, it's definitely a good deck. The one thing I will say, and I think this is in contrast to what we just saw, there's a lot of the tuck shown. I don't know if the duplication of it here was necessary. I think the one that showed both sides would have been enough because I'm realizing now we're a good amount into the campaign before we're actually even starting to see the cards, which is interesting. Yep. I do dig the fact that all of the courts are female characters. The artwork really, it's almost like 3D rendered almost in a way,
Right, yeah.
But I like the colors that they chose with the red, the traditionally, actually that's interesting. Are these both the king and queen of diamonds? So within the same suit, you could have different colors on the faces.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's kind of tripping me up with the quartz only having one arm.
You should,
That
yeah,
one kind
she
of
is.
has
Yeah,
two, but
yeah. Otherwise, yeah, they're kind of like hidden. So that one has two as well. They're just like this one has one arm. That is a little strange.
yeah, they kind of have one arm, and the other arm just goes into nowhere.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting.
Yeah,
I'd say from the campaign point of view, and I know again, there's this whole like one of the things we need to start looking into is the way we can look at these on a mobile aspect versus the full screen desktop aspect, which we're looking at here. Because I know on a mobile aspect, this probably scrolls a lot cleaner with the big
yeah,
single line images. But on the desktop, it makes for an odd experience. And I think for the most part, you're probably still seeing a 50-50 split between mobile and desktop users. So while you make for a better mobile experience, to some extent, you also detract from the desktop experience. The reason I stopped on this Queen of Spades here is I just want to say I absolutely love this blue teal for the background there.
yeah,
That is such a spectacular color. Um,
yeah. It's got like hints of green in it for me, like
yeah,
that aqua kind of.
yeah, no, it's a really nice looking color.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I dig the artwork. It is very like trying to be like it reminds me kind of like um video game artwork.
yeah, I could see that.
Something you'd see in like Skyrim or something like that. And it's not bad. If this is your style, it's a good looking deck. I like the fact that but yeah, even with the number cards, like I don't necessarily know that the number cards need to be individual, very large images just for one card, you know?
Yeah, and the pips on the number cards aren't colored, so it's kind of difficult to know what they are.
Yeah, it's an interesting kind of like it keeps. I guess it keeps with the style of the pips and indices throughout the court cards as well. But yeah, the contrast in color definitely breaks up the usability of this. Again, I think this being primarily a collector's deck, there probably isn't much intention for this to be
Yeah,
used for poker. But I think the face cards all having different colors on them kind of rules that out anyway.
back
Back
design's cool.
Yeah, back design looks like it matches the back of the tuck case. It's got coins involved. Nice. It was definitely a well thought out campaign, and obviously we've seen that with the composers. They really put together a very well thought out campaign. I do think this might be skewing a little bit more towards the mobile side of things versus the desktop experience. But with that in mind, it very well could be that with the composers and with previous campaigns they've seen, their specific audience is more mobile than desktop, and that could be the reason. That's one of those things that it's hard to tell just on its face. But I think it looks good, especially from a mobile experience. I'm sure this looks very well. So let's see what we
Yeah.
got here.
I mean, I think bumping those images down a little bit, they are a little large even for the mobile side.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, because I don't believe Kickstarter is very mobile responsive on its own, so you need to actually
Mm,
think of the layout. But so early bird, we're looking at 21 for the standard and 23 for the silver seal. Um, Otherwise, we're looking at 24 for the standard and 27 for the silver seal.
interesting.
Yeah, I'd say the price point to me, it's a little bit high for what it is. In spite of being fully custom quartz and embossed and foiled on the tuck, I'd still like to see it closer to that 20 point. I think it makes a little more sense there because you're not seeing foil or metallic inks or anything utilized in the cards themselves.
Right.
The addition of an extra wrapping, which has added printing cost and the seal and the manual time that it takes for all that stuff, probably does justify a $3 price increase. I think that's probably more than fair for the
Yeah.
silver seal versus the standard. But maybe seeing the standard at 20 and the silver seal at 24 would be a little more realistic, just with what you're getting there.
Yeah, I agree.
So, and I think it depends a lot too on what they're, who's doing a lot of the work. It could be that NPCC is doing most of the work, or they could be having some of it outsourced, and so that's adding additional cost. But for a collector's deck, I think that's somewhat on par with what we've been seeing recently. Though I still think that $20 mark makes a little more sense.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm excited to see how things transition. We do see a lot more campaigns going towards that mobile friendly aspect versus the desktop and mobile, or just more desktop oriented. I'd be curious to see if over time we do see a bigger shift there.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, most people do look on their phone, so
Yeah, well, yeah, because a lot of the notifications come through initially on your phone, so you probably look there first and then maybe look at the desktop later. So, cool. And if anyone has any insight into, past creators, what their spread was between mobile and desktop, I'd like to hear if there was any sort of skew for some campaigns versus others where it was more mobile, or if they're all about the same. So feel free to leave it in the comments if you want to share that information with us, or feel free to message us on Instagram at Deckin Around. So good luck to 64 playing cards. All right. What do we got next?
What else we got? Is that it?
Let us see. It
There's
looks
the
like it,
calendar.
yeah.
Let's check out that calendar.
Yeah, let's take a look. So this is a playing card calendar, which obviously not a deck of cards, but definitely an interesting endeavor. And I like the fact that, obviously getting close to the end of the year, this is definitely the time for calendars. Looks like a healthy mix of different decks across the calendar. Let's see preview pages. It's definitely a very well shot. It's definitely a different vibe to it though too than just like a regular standard like playing card campaign. It's funny because there's not like, oh, who's going to be printing it? Well, I don't know if they're a good printer or not anyway, but it's an interesting vibe. I do enjoy it. Let's see. 13 sheets, 12 for each month, and the cover photo, cover prints. Okay. So it talks about all of, okay, so it's a wire bound versus like a staple bound.
Yeah. Hano Art Gloss. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad the images are high quality images, which is good.
Yeah.
I like the fact that they are different decks and not the same deck or the same company, so to speak. Kind of just opens up a variation, in what you're looking at rather than looking at something similar throughout the entire year.
Yeah. It talks about who's going to be printing and fulfilling, which I think, if a calendar campaign can do it, a deck of cards can do it. Project will be printed by Copy Magic, family-owned printing and copying company that was founded in '96 in Perth, Western Australia. Fulfillment will be handled by Card Territory in Perth, Western Australia. Cool. Awesome. And what are we looking at for a calendar? 25 shipped. I don't know what a calendar normally costs. I haven't
Yeah, I'm lost on that one, so I have no idea. I'm sure size-wise that's where it kind of gets you.
Yeah.
Once you get past a certain size, the weight really doesn't matter.
Yeah, and because calendars are usually like 12 by 12 square, like it's an awkward size to ship.
Yeah.
I haven't bought a calendar in a while, so I can't remember what the cost actually was last time I bought one, but
yeah,
definitely
I
interesting.
haven't used a calendar probably in 20 years. I use my phone.
Yeah. But no, I think this is an awesome idea, and I love the way they're kind of, expanding upon the interest of the playing card community. So good luck to Frank and Ron here. You guys did a phenomenal job, and congratulations on funding already. 64 hours to go. See how it does. So that looks like it. That was a short week. All right, so we got 2 decks this week. So I guess the December lull is definitely coming in full swing.
Yeah.
On your end, Steve, what decks would you back?
I'm gonna save some money this week, buddy.
Yeah, I think I'm in the same boat. I'll be honest. The Stairway playing cards, I do enjoy the colors, and I think they did a great job with their relaunch. I'm excited to see that. If I was more into cardistry, I'd definitely be picking that up because I think the price point is spectacular. I've seen the Stanbird before. The Admira still kind of just doesn't hit me the same way because it gives me that old school like video game vibe more than anything. So pass on my end.
I can't get past the core cards with one arms.
Well, there you go. That's a very good reason. So, well, hey, you know what? Again, this was an interestingly short week this week, but we'd still love to know what you guys plan on backing. So if you want, leave a comment below. Let us know what decks caught your eye and what decks you're excited for in general for the upcoming 2021 releases. It's gonna be here before we know it, and we're excited to see what a new year brings.
Yeah, I mean, we already know a couple decks that are coming in January, so I look forward to a new year and some new decks. Hopefully January brings some amazing things.
Absolutely. Let's take a quick word from our sponsor here.
Hummingbird feathers mimics the shimmer of a hummingbird in motion. Meticulously created with a specialized printing process using multiple holographic foils. Stunning tuck design and sculpted embossing with master letterpress creation. Featuring limited standard and gilded 3-deck sets. Pre-order yours today at marvelousdecks.com.
All right, and thank you everybody for checking out this episode of Deckin Around Kickstarter Edition. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We drop these every Monday, giving you the information on the newest decks on Kickstarter.
Peace, y'all!